Hey, Dan Andros with you here. We're about to have another conversation with Glenn. It's been kind of a long, crazy week here, but thankfully we got a holiday coming up, little Halloween, so we thought we'd ask Glenn, being that he had a fantastic childhood as a magician and other, other fun things, so we thought we'd ask Glenn what Halloween was like for him growing up as a kid.
Sure. Growing up with my mom was like growing up with Martha Stewart. She was, if you wonder where I get my eye for detail and everything else, you blame that on my mother. Except I was like the third child, so it was kind of like, whatever, kid. And I remember I went out as, my sister wanted to go out, I think as a butterfly or something. And my mom made this cute little costume, all from scratch. I mean, she made the wings and everything. It wasn't the time when you would go buy stuff. So she made the wings for I wanted to be Casper the Friendly Ghost. She took a sheet. She literally cut just two, and I don't even think she cut them in circles. She just took them and cut them so they were all like kind of crazy cut. And then she just wrote Casper on it. And there's this picture, I don't know if we can find it, but there's a picture of me and my sister dressed for Halloween. It was like, which one do you think was the special kid?
That's awesome.
So what are you doing? Do you have any special plans for the Beck family this weekend for Halloween?
We're just going out with some friends. I don't know why everybody goes to neighborhood. They're going to, because we're doing it. We're not staying in our neighborhood. We're going to someone else's neighborhood.
Are you going to leave the
I
house?
have a theory on that, because I think in neighborhoods where the houses are too spread apart, it's no good. Like if you were in Manhattan as a kid and you could go in a high rise, it was amazing. It was just like boom, 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 boom. So I think that the homes in your neighborhood are spread
No, it's
too
not
far
'cause
apart.
I mean, this has been going for a while, and some of the friends that work for us, they're going with us to somebody else's neighborhood. And I just think what's happening is you got a good neighborhood and where everybody kind of knows each other, and those neighborhoods where nobody really kind of knows each other, you don't go. I feel really bad. I feel like bringing them candy.
Are you going to be leaving?
It's like where are all these people? They're like freeloaders. They're coming into our neighborhood taking our candy.
Are you going to leave a basket out when you're not there? I mean, just take one.
No.
That doesn't ever really work. Just take one, the first person comes, and then it's all gone.
Eat
Leaving
it
the
all.
German Shepherds out.
It's nice of you.
I had a really kind of exciting and kind of sad thing happen this week that I haven't talked about. We got a new dog.
You did.
Oh,
We replaced Victor.
well, you can't replace Victor. You just got another dog.
What is the dog's name?
Uno. And you don't name them. They come from Germany with a name, you know? And you will
My
call it
Cabbage
Uno.
Patch Kid came with a name, but I changed it.
No, I wouldn't
Bad
do that.
example.
Did you change it? Did it change the name?
Yeah.
Really?
I changed my dog's name too, but my
Did
dog
you?
also wasn't trained. It was just rescued from some.
I don't want to give him some psychosis. These guys are really smart. He'll kill me at times.
Sure. Okay.
But he's going to actually be, Victor was my dog. Remember, I used to bring him until we moved to New York. I used to bring him to work. And then we moved to New York and everybody's freaking out. Oh, it's a loaded weapon. And so I'm going to bring him to work.
That's
It's going to be our show
great.
dog.
There should be. Can I just
great.
make a suggestion?
Different kind of show dog than most people should have show dog. Ours is like our dog of our show.
Can I make a suggestion for the company? If you would send an email out, saying that there is a scary dog coming, because I remember when you brought Victor into Philadelphia, and I had no clue that you had a German Shepherd attack dog, and I unsuspectingly walked into your office, and Victor just hopped to attention and came right over, and
Well, you were wearing
Yeah.
your meat pants. She doesn't ever wear meat pants. You remember the guy we brought Victor in, and for a long time we used to interview people with Victor. Because Victor, we had this guy came and he worked in the office. He wasn't working for us, he worked
leasing them,
in the
yeah.
office. And he came in, and every time he would come in, Victor was like the coolest dog. And he was just like totally mellow. And this guy would come in the front door, and Victor would hop to attention, and he would bear down like
Good
this.
instincts.
A really good instinct. Well, we found out later that guy was embezzling or something, wasn't he? It was something weird was going on. After he left, we were like, oh my gosh, and Victor knew.
got to pass the Victor test.
Yeah.
So we kind of had a crazy week here, interesting week on the show. A panel of feminists. That doesn't happen every day on the Glenn Beck program.
Doesn't happen any day.
But it's always interesting for me because something I do enjoy when we see someone that's so diametrically opposed, I enjoy watching them meet you because I know you're a good guy. They have no clue all they know of you is the caricature. And so it's really fun to watch them and see kind of their heart
The
change
discovery?
on that. Yeah, the discovery.
Well, they said the only thing they knew about me was from the Colbert Report. Oh, like you're going to get a real person out of that.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you, what did you learn this week?
I don't know. Boy, you're going to ask me this every week, aren't
Yes,
you? So I should
yes,
have
we are.
something prepared.
No, that ruins it.
I don't know. What did I learn this week? Just keep showing up.
Let's ask a follow-up to that. Can you tell us, outside of the show, the audience may not know, but what is a highlight for you this week and a low light? Was there something good and something maybe not so great?
Off the top of my head, the highlight and the low light were both people. Me not being, I think, a better boss, a better person, knowing how to navigate. I mean, I run this stupid company. I'm a DJ. Last thing I am is a business person. I can figure out a bunch of stuff, and I'm an idea guy. I'm not a do it guy. You know what I mean? And so just having a hard time navigating in business with people, knowing how to get the best out of them in hard times. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does.
People feel, I think people feel a little punched in the gut from time to time because, the project they were working on didn't work out the way they thought or whatever. And so it sucks on not being able to say, I don't know how to say, pick yourself back up. Pick yourself back up. It's okay. I wrote a great email to somebody who was struggling in the company, and I'm thinking about just maybe even just publishing it company-wide or even putting it on Facebook. I don't even know where it came from, but I started with, I'm concerned about you. I'm concerned about you because I can see you're struggling. Listen. And then it just like spilled out of me, and I think I have to go back and read it, but maybe I should share it with people, the whole company. Because I think people, you just get beaten down sometimes, Highlight, the people I've spent time with this week, the people who've come through the doors, amazing. We had one of the, I don't want to say who it was, but a guy that created something that is iconic. Iconic. You know who I'm talking about?
I do.
Right?
Yes.
Is there any way else to describe it?
No,
Like-
iconic.
Like everybody knows it, and
Brand
everybody would
recognition
go,
above.
"Oh
yeah.
my gosh, what was that like to create that?" But he sat in my office, and it's amazing. The more people I sat with this guy today, huge in Silicon Valley. Sat with a guy who was this massive creator, still is, massive creator. Kind of people that can, oh, you need to talk to the president? Let me call him. And then I talked to a third guy this week, and all had private conversations. And what I'm finding is they all feel exactly the same way I do. They all see their companies or see the world holding on and saying, don't, you're not going to make it doing that. Don't. And I don't have the answers. They don't have the answers. And we're all reaching out to each other and saying, do you have this piece? Because I don't have this piece. Yes, I have that piece. Do you have this piece? No, but I know somebody who does. And what's happening is they're starting to look for their own ADLs. They're all starting to look for their own dream labs. This guy came in and he said, how many people are working in your dream labs? And I said, full time? He said, yeah. And I said, 3. He said, wait a minute, what projects are you doing? And I said, I know. Amazing, huh? He said, you're my hero. And I said, why? He said, because small teams in projects is what put us on the moon. And he told me a story of history I'd never heard before. When Kennedy stood in front of Congress and he said, and we're going to set a goal, we're going to put a man on the moon and return him home safely within a decade. What agency did not know that?
NASA.
NASA. He didn't tell them. They were all watching it going, well, what? And the reason why he didn't tell them is because all of them said, we can't do it. He knew if he went in front of the American people and just said, we're going to do it, then they'd have to do it. And what happened? NASA was this big monolithic thing that came out of World War II that had one guy at the head who just said, this is what we're doing. Instead, they realized, we can't do any of these things. They went to him and said, Mr. President, we don't have the rocket power. We don't have the navigation system. We don't have the computer power. We don't have any of these things. None of these things are possible. And he said, great, so what you're saying is, if we just do all of those things, you can put a man on the moon? They're like, yeah, but don't you see this long list? He said, good. Assemble some teams. Just give them one thing. Because if all of them just complete one thing, I guess what you're saying is we can go to the moon.
And that's when NASA created a studio like this and staged the moon landing.
That's right, that's right. And that's why, kids, they are telling Muslims how great their society is today.